and welcome to the third installment of the Inspirational Women Short Takes with Gech. So today I'm going to talk about religious women that have inspired me. Obviously, I do talk about my faith, and I'm a practicing Catholic woman, and I love talking about weaving in my faith with my everyday life because it's just a part of who I am, and I can't separate it. And there are obviously women of faith that have inspired me. Either my mom has definitely been a huge inspiration. Just her hopefulness and her faithfulness and her persevering and trusting God has really motivated and inspired me when I went through different struggles. Also, women that I knew from church and school have also inspired me. And there's saints and women in the Bible that have been huge inspirations. Shout out to Jael, who doesn't get enough play. She was an amazing woman in the Bible. I mean, she hit a guy with a stake in his head. There's some heroic women in the Bible. Judith, I mean, come on. She beheaded a dude and saved just in honor of her people. So, if you don't know about these awesome women in the Bible, there's more to the women in the Bible than the women that were attached to the men. There are a lot of feminist stories in the Bible. I was actually listening to the Feminist Catholic podcast, and the Old Testament was a discussion, and they were talking about feminist women in the Old Testament and looking through stories through that feminist lens, and it kind of reshapes the way that you see those stories. I think one example was the woman that David committed adultery with. We see her as kind of a seductress sometimes when we read the story, but really, if you imagine it, David took advantage of her with his power and his control that he could have over her because he was a king. So reshaping your viewpoints, thinking of from a feminist viewpoint, especially biblical stories, is a really interesting take on Catholic feminism or Christian feminism or just feminism in general. One of my favorite women of faith is now Saint Mother Teresa, and I'm gonna read one of her poems. It's my motto in life. I have the mug. I kind of think about it all the time when I'm really struggling to do kind things and really struggling to persevere in life in general. So the poem is called Do It Anyway. People are often unreasonable, irrational, and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. If you are kind, people may accuse you of selfish, ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. If you are successful, you will win some unfaithful friends and some genuine enemies. Succeed anyway. If you are honest and sincere, people may deceive you. Be honest and sincere anyway. What you spend years creating, others could destroy overnight. Create anyway. If you find serenity and happiness, some may be jealous. Be happy anyway. The good you do today will often be forgotten. Do good anyway. Give the best you have, and it will never be enough. Give your best anyway. In the final analysis, it is between you and God. It was never between you and them anyway. It is just so beautiful. And this version is credited to Mother Teresa. I'm not sure when she spoke this and what context it was spoken or written about, but it's just very encouraging because sometimes you can just focus on the negative and say what is the point of being kind? People are trash. Or what is the point of working really hard? Someone is just gonna get away with taking the easy route anyway. But it's not about what other people do. It's about what you do and the honor and value that comes from doing your best, living your most authentic self, your best self, and putting that forward anyway, no matter what possible outcome you might overcome, because in the end, the person you have to answer to is God and yourself. And I think as women, so many times in society we're beaten down, or we see obstacles, the glass ceiling, the unequal pay for equal work, stereotypes, societal norms that don't fit who we are, boxes that are placed in front of us that we are supposedly supposed to fit within, but we still persevere anyway. We are beautiful creatures. We are amazing. and just continuing to do our jobs, to live ourselves as truly as we can, live our lives as truly as we can, is the best testimony that anyone can ever have. And I'm always reminded of that whenever I'm like, I don't have that many followers. Who's even reading this blog post? Like, who's listening to this video? Who cares? I'm doing it anyway because I do it ultimately for myself and to encourage myself to pursue my dreams and pursue my passions. And hopefully that encourages one woman or another who watches or listens or reads anything that I create. And I do it for God. It's my version of my testimony, whether I'm writing about fashion or writing about faith, writing about lifting, or writing about inspirational women. I'm sharing a part of myself. Do it anyway. So I think that's a great message to leave the end of this short takes. Thank you so much for watching the series. If you haven't caught up with the loved one, I'll link it below. And if you miss any of the other two, please just watch the playlist and watch the other videos. Please like and subscribe. And if you have suggestions for other videos, please comment down below. Thank you so much. Have a great day.